I'm on a mission to find and review every Roughie that isn't lost, and some of them are hard to find. This one was hard to find. The Something Weird DVD-R has been out of print for decades, and I couldn't find it on any of the online places that have stuff like this. Don't ask. But I did find a DVD for sale on a website that looked like it was designed in the 1990s. And despite not being 100% sure I would receive it, I was about to place an order, and then I saw the shipping to Europe was really expensive, so I didn't order it. But one of the Discord boys did order it, and it turns out the website was legit and ran by some pretty cool people. They sent him some extra DVDs because they were a bit slow with the shipping. That's pretty cool. And so, yada yada yada, I finally got to see it. So, big thanks to my Discord friend G-Biz. That's his real name, by the way, as far as I know. And don't worry, YouTube bros, we didn't break any laws. These Roughies from the 1960s are all in the public domain, as far as I know. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at Sex Circus from 1969. This is quite the rarity. Only 10 people have marked it as watched on Letterboxd, and one of those 10 is me. And only 13 people have rated it on IMDb. Obscure doesn't even come close to describing this thing. Which is really too bad in a way. I've seen probably over 100 sexploitation films from the 1960s, and this one would be high on my list of weirdest. It's got a clown and a lion tamer with some cat girls, and Roughie goddess Uta Erickson is here as the ringleader of this strange circus. So why is this thing so hard to find? Well, let's find out. We open on Uta Erickson smoking. Ooh, I like her hat. She seems to like these purses. And then credits, with a bunch of fake Hollywood names. Jane Russell and her circus? Yeah, that's Uta. She's the ringleader of this circus, after all. Produced by L. Kirtman. That's Leonard Kirtman, the infamous New York pornographer. After this movie, he will go on to a rather seedy career in hardcore. The dude was a major creep who did a lot of unethical stuff in the hardcore world. But that's later. This is still the softcore era. And there's nothing unethical about filling a New York apartment with a bunch of leather freaks and then whipping them. So we should be just fine here. After the credits, the female narrator tells us that she loves inflicting pain. The audio mix is terrible, and it's really hard to hear what she's saying. I had to turn this way up, and when the whipping and screaming started, my neighbors loved it. Hey, and that's not me being sarcastic. They really did. I could hear their kids giggling outside my window.
You sick son of a bitch.
So Uta makes it to her apartment and strips down to the standard 60s sexploitation attire, black bra and panties on white skin. And it's all pretty tame, but it's still nothing I can show you here on YouTube.
Man, I just work here.
But of course, we don't have to stay here. You can now support the channel on Patreon and get access to spicy versions of my reviews. Link is in the description. Some girls come over and they dance and strip. And that one on the right there looks really familiar. I think she might have been in a Michael Finlay movie. And the music has turned out to be pretty cool. It's got some folky 60s New York vibes. So Uta comes in and roughs one of the girls up a little bit, and the other girl goes out the following night with Uta to the strip club. Uta's voiceover tells us that she plans to corrupt the girl, and the corruption starts at the club. My, how times haven't changed. Oh, and there in the audience is Linda Boyce. Definitely recognize her. She and Uta often appear together in these films. I heard they were more than friends, but I haven't been able to confirm that information. They both retired from the scene around the same time, just a few years after this movie was filmed, and disappeared. I know some people interested in the scene have tried to find them, but no luck. Uta uses the name Jane Russell here, but even the name Uta Erickson wasn't her real name. She wasn't even Nordic. According to John Amero's memoir, she was really Artie Giannini from Atlantic City, New Jersey. And she was, by all accounts, a lovely person to work with. Anyway, over in the movie, the girls leave the strip club and the music gets really weird while they do stuff I can't even tell you about. Uta tries to corrupt the girl with leather, Yeah, not sure that rubbing leather boots on someone's shirt actually does anything, Uta. Or maybe it does. Oh, what the Anyway, the girls are interrupted by Uta's husband. He plays with a girl, but Uta puts a stop to that when they go too far. Meaning, they go to a place where they were no longer paying attention to her, and we can't have that now, can we? At some point, Uta hosts a party of degenerates. There are a few leather-clad people in attendance, one cowboy, and one stone-cold freak who showed up in a bathrobe. Come on, guy, this is no place to be clean. In a side room at the party, a man pretends to be a lion tamer, with 3 cat girls as his lions. It's a pretty good scene, but I can't show it to you for various large biological reasons. So let's read Wikipedia instead. Mammals are characterized by the presence of milk-producing mammary glands for feeding their young. Anyway, back at the party, a guy in motorcycle gear prepares his crotch rocket. At some point in the party, Linda Boyce will do a striptease on the coffee table, and Uta will get in a fight with a few of the girls who stole money from a clown.
What?
Yeah, and the narration surrounding this fight explains a little bit about what's going on in this movie. In the narration, Uta addresses a doctor, so that's who she's been talking to, a doctor of some sort. This wasn't the typical story narration of a typical Moss film. That's kind of interesting. But why was she talking to a doctor? Well, this party is about to go to a really bizarre place, well beyond what Uta can handle without going to a therapist afterwards, but that's enough out of me as far as plot goes. Let's talk some highlights. Uta. Uta is the highlight. She's always fun to watch, and here she wears some really cool outfits. I also like the music a lot. It is so weird, so wild. I've never heard anything quite like it. Sleazoid Express compared it to the Velvet Underground, and that's fair. It does have that folky, experimental New York vibe. But it's more abstract than the Velvet Underground. It reminds me a little bit of the avant-garde stuff that John Zorn did. Another big highlight of this film is the nudity. I don't know which 60s roughie had the most on-screen flesh, but this one has to be pretty high on the list. It was late in the game in 1969, where things had gone about as far as they could go before hardcore, which would come about a year later, so it makes sense this one is pretty far down that road. But despite the skin, the music, and Uta, the film's not perfect. Like a clown getting his nose honked, this film has some shortcomings. Well, this movie is really poorly made. So poor, in fact, it's pretty hard to watch. The audio mix is awful.
I'm not at all sure that I can be cute. Nor am I sure that I want to.
This movie's very low quality.
Film is a visual medium, but if you want to be a filmmaker, or even a YouTuber, please remember that audio is even more important. People will watch all manner of terrible video quality if the audio is good, but nobody will watch even the best video if the audio is bad. So before you buy a camera, buy a microphone. So should you go through the trouble of tracking this movie down? Well, no, it's really only for completionists. Uta's cool, the music's cool, the story's kind of cool in a way, but because of the low quality, this is a really rough movie to sit through. And I say that as a person who sat through Gladiator.
Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife.
Ugh.